Please call me Kenny, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And my apologies for keeping you waiting.
Thank you for your time. And we're very excited to talk to you about Julie and the Phantoms, because it's a Brazilian original.
Yes, Julie e os Fantasmas.
So I wanted to know, how did you heard about Julie and the Phantoms for the first time, and how did you get involved in this project?
The project was brought to me through my agent, Andy Patman, and through our executive producing partner, George Salinas. George discovered the project. It had run in Brazil very successfully, and he brought it to us and said, we think that this could be a wonderful international musical for Kenny. And I loved it. I saw some of the early episodes, and I loved the stories and the energy and spirit of the show. And my writers, Dan Cross and Dave Hodge, also. And we loved all the possibilities too of doing something new with it. And so that's how it came to me.
And how was working with the Brazilian producers? How involved were them in the process?
They were not involved in our creative process. However, they gave us their support and their confidence. They were happy that I was involved in the project, and they gave us complete freedom, you know, to travel into new places with the story idea.
Então vai querer entrar pra banda?
Pega sua guitarra.
Madison Reyes is such a talent. I saw already the episodes, and she's just fantastic. But she had no experience at all, for what I read, in front of the cameras. What made you think she was the one to be the lead in this project?
I think Mariana and Michael and Samia and Bruno all were incredible, and they were great discoveries. And so I felt inspired. And I wanted to make sure that we put a lot of effort and time and care into discovering who our Julie and the Phantoms were going to be. And I loved the casting process. And we created a script that asked for it all. We wanted actors that could bring the humor and the heart and the joy and the surprise, but also that had the musical talent. I know Netflix was like, how are you going to find these people? And so we went on a big search, and I wanted a Latina. I wanted a Latinx, you know, leading lady, and I wanted this to be, you know, a Latin family. And my casting directors, La Padura and Hart, who I worked with High School Musical and Cheetah Girls and Descendants at the Disney Channel, came on board, and they looked all over Northern America, not just Hollywood, not just New York, but everywhere. And they sent 1,000 letters out to high school of the performing arts all across Canada and the US. And in this school in Allentown, Pennsylvania, a teacher walked up to Madison, who was 14 years old, and handed her our letter. And he said, you might want to read this. Netflix is looking for a young Latina actress to play the leading role in a new television series. And she went home, Vitor, and she told her family, please, I need you to all be quiet. She'd never done this before. She brought her piano, her electric piano, out onto the porch, and she learned all the lines because she didn't know that she could have somebody reading with her for the audition. So when she came walking out the door onto the porch, and she was listening to characters that weren't there. And I was like, oh my God, she's talking to, she was so authentic and brave and honest. And then she sat down at the piano and she started to play the piano and sing. And I said, there's Julie. That's Julie from the block right there. This is gonna be the girl to beat. And we saw hundreds of girls, many of them that were so talented. But this little girl, 14 years old, Madison Reyes, born in a Puerto Rican family, took it. And I'm so glad you like her and that you enjoyed her.
She's just fantastic and has an amazing voice. It's unbelievable. I was researching about her because I thought it's impossible that she hasn't done anything before.
You know, Victor, everybody said this. When we took Madison in the recording studio, she never had on headphones. She never stood in front of a microphone. She never recorded a song professionally. And every songwriter and every producer that worked with her said, it's impossible that this girl can do this with never having had an experience. Her gift is so organic. And then even on the set, the way she treated people, the way she worked with actors, the respect that she had for the crew, her professionalism, her readiness, her spontaneity, everything about her. I couldn't say more. And her family. She comes from the most wonderful family. Her mother is a career soldier. Her father, an artist. And she has an adorable younger sister, and Madison is her role model. So, I mean, we found Cinderella, I think.
Todo mundo vê como olha pra ela quando estão cantando.
Vocês fazem o dueto mais fofo que eu já vi.
Nós dois sabemos como é perder nossas mães.
And the show has lots of nods to other works of yours. I especially saw Dirty Dancing, which is a movie I love. And was it meant to be like
dancing,
like little Easter eggs for older audiences like me, which are not the target for the show?
You are the target, Vitor. I hope this is for everyone who has a young spirit, you know, and I hope that this brings hope and light into our darkened times, is entertaining and also inspirational. We have a lot of beautiful themes that Dave Hoge and Dan Cross have incorporated into our scripts, and wonderful inspirational music, 15 original songs. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to bring this part of my life into my work, but it seems to be that I do. You know, and it's more in retrospect when I'm sitting down sometimes and I'm looking at, you know, the edit, and I go, whoa, that reminds me of Hocus Pocus, or whoa, that reminds me of, but also my cast, Madison, Charlie, Owen, and Jeremy, they like my work. And so they always come to me saying, can we do something like you did with Patrick and Jennifer in Dirty Dancing? Or can we do something like you did with you know, Zach and Vanessa in High School Musical? So every once in a little while, there is a bit of a nod.
They told me this was my last question, so I just want to know if are there already plans for a second season?
We hope so. I know that the cast wants to, our writers want to, Netflix wants to, I want to. You know, that question really goes out to the world. You know, we've created this piece, and now, you know, it's you know, the world needs to show up. And if the world shows up and they embrace this idea, we not only have plans for a second season, we want to go out as a band and tour. These kids can do it all. They can play, they can sing, they can perform. And we would love to take Julie and the Phantoms out and bring it to Brazil and bring it everywhere, you know, as a live touring production. And of course, back to Netflix for a season 2. But again, tomorrow day, starting tomorrow, you know, we'll see, you know, and I'm hoping that folks like you and other really positive journalists will help us get the word out, and that we'll be fortunate enough to gain an audience.
Well, thank you very much. If you come to Brazil, you'll be very welcome. I'm sure Brazilian fans would love to see Mariana and Madison meeting. It would be just amazing.
We would have to invite the original cast to join us, wouldn't we?
It would be just incredible.
How great would that be? A reunion of the two casts. So supportive, I must say. All the original cast, unbelievable. They have been, Mariana and the boys have been so supportive of the trailer, of the music, of our casting. They've been writing, you know, on the Instagram of all of our cast. And to me, I love them. We thank them. Without them, we couldn't exist. To the writers of Julie y los Fantasmas and to everyone involved in the original production, we bow to you, we thank you, and we hope that we do you proud. Thank you so much.
I believe that we're just one dream away from who we're meant to be, and that we're standing on